A dry day at last, but the economic climate is certainly less than favourable at the moment. These are tough times for consumers and businesses, especially small businesses. So imagine how you'd feel if your company was sent letters demanding money for advertising that you knew nothing about.
Ian Prothero is a partner in Lane & Prothero Gas Services, a Cardiff firm specialising in central heating systems. So Ian was surprised when he recently received bills from a company based in Spain.
Basically what it is, it's something that I was supposed to have signed to have an advert throughout Europe to advertise our company for more work. And basically, because we don't work out of Cardiff, I was surprised to see it.
Ian says that since he doesn't advertise in the local papers in Cardiff, he certainly wouldn't agree to a large bill for a European advert.
It's around £800 in British money for an advert to go on this directory. And it's something that we haven't signed for, and it's something that we don't need.
But since they first established contact with him, the people at European City Guide have been very persistent. They want their money.
The first two reminders that I owe the money just went in the bin because I know I haven't dealt with them. The third reminder was a bit more serious, so I just emailed them back to say that we do not require their services and I've never signed anything. And then about 3 or 4 weeks later we received the copy of the order.
Managed to get hold of your signature?
I really don't know. You know, I have no idea.
Could it be that you might have signed something possibly without thinking in the past that they could have got hold of, or?
But if it's coming from a different country, I mean, it is nothing that I would, you know, I don't sign, you know, we don't advertise, you know, I don't fill out free competitions. You know, I really don't know how they got hold of it.
Over in Swansea, Jules Waddell knows all there is to know about the European City Guide. Since 2001, he's been running a website, stopecg.org, to advise other small businesses.
6 years, they've mailed 32 million of these documents.
I mean, that's just beyond belief, isn't it? 32 million.
Well, that means that almost every small to medium enterprise in the European Union has received one. And probably more than one. I still receive them, even though I run the website. I still receive them at my business address.
Jules's website is full of tips on what to do if you're targeted by the guide. But if it's such a big scheme, why don't the authorities do something to curtail their activities?
First of all, it's cross-border, so no single country feels able to deal with it. Secondly, it targets businesses or sole traders. If you're a sole trader, you're an individual. You're no different to a consumer in your awareness, but you lose all the consumer protection. So it falls outside the law by doing this.
Jules says that ECG are very adept at getting hold of people's signatures. The first document sent to a trader is very innocuous.
It's such a throwaway thing. You receive something, you think it's a free listing, you sign it. They allow a 15-day cooling off period, but they don't return the form to you and tell you for over 2 months. So by the time 2 months have passed, will you actually remember that 30 seconds when you signed that thing and folded it back in the envelope?
But after the first contact has been made with people like Ian, the pressure begins to grow. Once ECG have your details, they won't let you go. They
send you the first letter. Nearly everyone disputes that first letter. They then send you the letter saying that you've signed this legally binding contract and a small percentage pay up. They then send reminders and they start adding fees. The final stage is that they employ a debt collection company, either in Switzerland or Austria, who will phone you up saying, we are taking you to court, you will get credit blacklisted. They go as far as looking on the internet, finding out what your local county court is, naming it in letters.
It's enough to strike fear into anyone, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. It's very, very high pressure and very intimidating. And I've had people, grown business people, phone me up in tears after the debt collectors have called.
After 7 years of hard work, Jules reckons that the campaigning against the European City Guide is finally bearing fruit.
Our estimate is that over 80% of people do not pay, and the European City Guide has never taken anyone to court. These threats are hollow, they're bully and bluster.
After contacting the Ferret and being told of Jules's website, Ian is now a lot more comfortable about the threat posed by ECG.
Now I know what type of company it is. It certainly relieves the stress a bit.
It's a very clever thing to do, isn't it?
It is. I mean, we all know that there are companies out there trying to scam people all the time. But when you're in business and it's something like this that looks very, very professional comes through, then it is worrying.
Jules is still campaigning on behalf of small businesses all over Europe. He knows who are the people who can bring the harassment to an end.
The people who can really stop them, the authorities in Valencia, they have not shown the political determination to do so. We put enough pressure on the authorities in Barcelona, in Catalonia, and they did. And they took the European City Guide to court. It was fined €300,000 and it was closed for 1 year. It simply moved to Valencia, which is another jurisdiction within Spain, and opened up shop again. And virtually nothing has changed in its operation.
And if you receive a demand for money from ECG, Jules has a suggestion for what you should do with the letter.
Send it to your MP and your MEP and say, look, someone's trying to trick me. Even if you haven't been tricked, it's important that people write and they say, look, this is a scam and it's affecting businesses. And businesses are the lifeblood of our community. This money, this is a parasitic process, and this money is taken out of the system. It doesn't come back.